Trump breaking news. Nikki Haley could end up voting for Trump. President Trump's backing for former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley during their live interview with CNN News Central's Kate Baldwin on Tuesday morning was unwavering, adding fuel to the fire. Haley has been more critical of the former president, claiming he is unqualified for government and forecasting his defeat in the next general election against Joe Biden. During arguments regarding state laws that potentially impact social media platforms. Content regulation, Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito posed a question about the newspaper's weight of YouTube, which prompted comments on social media. During Monday's nearly 4 hours of debate, the justices cast doubt on several provisions of statutes passed by Republican-controlled legislatures and signed into law by Republican governors of Texas and Florida this past year. While the specifics differ, the goal of both statutes was to quell conservative claims that internet service providers were filtering out customers because of their political beliefs, particularly among the political right. They were passed in the months following the banning of former President Donald Trump's posts pertaining to the January 6, 2021, attack on the U.S. Capitol by his followers on Facebook and Twitter, now known as X. Social media firms tech trade groups NetChoice and Computer and Communications Industry Association took legal action against the states in federal court. They said that the laws infringed upon their free speech rights and would hinder their ability to remove extremist and hate material from their platforms. While one federal appeal struck down the act in Florida, another maintained the law in Texas. But until the ruling from the nation's top court, neither of them can move further. The heart of Monday's comments was the question of how to classify the platforms, with some seeing them as similar to newspapers with extensive free speech safeguards and others as telephone businesses open to more control. Alito had doubts regarding the applicability of editorial safeguards enjoyed by newspapers to social media platforms. He is a conservative on the court. A transcript of the debate shows that the 73-year-old questioned if YouTube were a newspaper, how much would it weigh, which caused the other party to laugh, responding that it would be a tremendous sum. Paul Clement, NetChoice lawyer, argued that editorial discretion was necessary to make the platforms productive. People flocked to social media to make fun of Alito's question. An image of the query became viral on X, and the poster captioned it, Olympic swimmer sized bang hit, some thought Alito's age was on display in the question, while others questioned the justice's familiarity with YouTube. Don't think you should have the authority to rule on matters that you aren't well versed in, another user wrote. Because he was so foolish, Alito ought to have stepped aside, someone else asked. What is YouTube's weight? Absolutely, in the modern era of technology. One person even went so far as to say that a few elderly people on the Supreme Court are worse for America than a good old man running the show. Although some users found it to be a good argument in context, others were more interested in finding the literal answer. The Supreme Court should have a dedicated employee whose job it is to teach the justices about technology and social media. They should not be making choices about topics they do not fully comprehend, given their level of influence. Their current position of power is not their fault. Nonetheless, I also see this as a valid reason to impose term limitations.